I'm here today with Matt Gwynn from Riptide Productions, and Matt is a DJ, and I am going to rapid fire some questions at him to get this started. Matt, what is your favorite song to play at a reception?
Oh, favorite. There's so many to choose, of course, but I love Want to Dance with Somebody. I think it really gets the crowd in gear, and it's one of the early songs we play. Usually the first 5 songs we do, it kind of kicks things off, and I think everyone, all ages, like it.
Okay, and what is your favorite venue to work at, or maybe not necessarily your favorite, but a venue that you work at a lot here in the Lexington area?
We love all of our venues. We love them all. Some particular that are real close to the house I love. I've got Talon Winery and Barnett Spring House and Round Barn. And, we love working the Bayou Bluegrass Catering, some of their different spots. So those are some of the ones that are real close to me and we love going to, and we're there quite often.
I definitely feel like you're at Round Barn a lot. So
Yeah,
I feel like every time on social media, every video you post is Round Barn. So, and then do you have a least favorite song to play at a reception? When somebody wants it, you're like, I'll play it if I have to.
I'll go ahead and be honest with you. I'm Africa by Toto. I don't know why. I will play it gladly. Clients, don't think you can't put it on there, but I'm not a huge Africa fan by Toto.
Okay. What do you think is the most overrated reception activity?
Oh, definitely the garter toss. I think that it's making its way out. We'll still do it. Clients still do it. And I think there's funny ways of doing it, especially when they ice, the other person or something with it. But it's making its way out. The bouquet's still in, but the garter's on its way out.
I would agree with that 100%. And then what is like the longest you have ever seen couples be on the dance floor, or like guests stay on the dance floor at a reception?
Our whole goal is to keep them out there as long as we can and get them as tired as we can. So, we've kept them dancing for 4 straight hours before. I know just this Saturday was 3 straight hours. We're talking straight 4 straight hours of dancing. It's incredible the energy these people have after a long day, of getting married and being up early. So, but we're right there with them the whole time, and we love it.
They've spent months planning it, and it's over now, and they are ready to celebrate.
They're ready to celebrate, and we are too, every weekend with them.
So, Matt, I have known you for probably 3-ish years now. Tell me how long you've actually been a DJ.
I have dabbled in DJing for over 20 years, and made it a full-time profession about 8 years ago, I believe, 7 years ago, and decided to take that passion I had for music and entertainment and run with it. And here we are today talking to you. Okay.
And you have several other wedding DJs that work with you.
I do. We have a team of DJs that are with us. We have some great guys. We've built that over the years. And that we got guys in the wings are training. We've got guys that don't do weddings either, that focus on other events, sorority parties, high school dances, community events and things of that nature. That are not necessarily interested in the wedding industry.
Okay. So what percentage of the events do you do that you would say are weddings?
All weddings are, I'd say, 80% of our business.
Okay.
Yeah.
When a couple reaches out about DJing their wedding, how do you decide which DJ is going to be their DJ?
Choosing the right DJ is very important to me for a wedding. A lot of it's based on availability. We look at the calendar and see who's available that date. A lot of it's about budget. We have different tiers of pricing for our DJs for Riptide Productions. So, based on tenure and and just experience and just production level, there's that. So we kind of, find out the budget for the client, and then we try to match the best DJ with them. And they always know ahead of time who it is going to be. And then my DJ will reach out to that client within a few days of them securing the date with us to, follow up and do that initial greet and go from there.
So having multiple DJs, what is kind of the training and learning process for them?
Well, they all started out training with me because, I've always been a big believer in, I was in the restaurant business for 16 years in restaurant management, upper management. And we were always trained, it wasn't Matt's restaurant. It was, Don Pablo's restaurant, whatever restaurant was on the sign. So it's kind of like the same philosophy I have with the DJ business. It's Riptide Productions. It's not necessarily Matt's, Gwynn's DJ business, but it's Riptide. So Riptide Productions has a certain standard, we like to live up to. And I like to make sure that that person is going to be on board. So they work with me, and then we have them go through some weddings, and then I'll work with them on some events, and then they're on their own. And then, we do some follow-up and check-ins. We do trainings about every quarter through the year. We all get together at a venue. Thank you, Talon Winery, for this last one we had. But we went out there and we did microphone training, and we worked on entrances. Introductions for the wedding party is a big deal to me, and we take great pride in making sure we do a good job on that. So, we were testing music levels and testing volume levels and making sure the energy was high. We like to bring a certain level of excitement and fun to a wedding day. I mean, we can go into that deeper, but it's very, very important to me to make sure that this is one big, huge, epic occasion, because it's one time that two families come together as one for one day, maybe forever, that this is the only time the two families come together. So everything has to be perfect on our end, and we take great pride in making sure that happens.
Okay. And what is the process when a couple books you and you know who their DJ is going to be? How do you start working on music and building a timeline, those kind of things?
We have a real nice questionnaire that we use. We're kind of old school. We still use send it to them. It's fillable online, but it goes through the different basic selections of music. I'm looking at one right now, for example, for this upcoming weekend. We'll ask about, if we're handling the ceremony. There's a lot of things that we sometimes handle and sometimes don't handle during a wedding. Being that a lot of weddings now are kind of more on the non-traditional side, people are getting married at the venues. So we will handle the ceremony music a lot if there's not a live string quartet or something. So this questionnaire will walk through the music selections for their special dances, whether they're doing them. Basically, what I tell our clients is you can share as little or as much as you want with me, and we will make sure it's perfect. I mean, some people send us playlists for every section of the evening, and some people don't, maybe send us 2 songs, and then we roll with that. So, but yeah, I mean, the questionnaire that we use really helps us cater to that client and make sure that we've got their specific requests and things that they want through the wedding.
If a couple doesn't know the songs they want for like their first dance and parents' dances, do you have recommendations for that? Do you have a list they can pick from? We
sure do. On the Riptide Productions Spotify account, we have some playlists already set up.
Oh, wow.
With some of my favorite, father-daughter dances, first dances, even pre-ceremony. We have all these different playlists made available to them that we share initially that they can browse, or I even send them a top 50 link of like a knot, .com will do a yearly thing of the top 50 songs, and I'll send that to. I want them to have as much information readily available in front of them as possible to make the best decision possible. Because we do have clients that, up the week of haven't chosen their first dance song or something and ask for advice. And I mean, I'm happy to provide it. We're happy to do whatever we can on our end to make sure it's special and right for the client. So
if you are providing the ceremony, cocktail hour, and reception, how many sound systems do you normally have?
We're able to handle 3 different locations if need be. We some of our packages actually, are 2-location package, mean to where we might do a ceremony and then if their cocktail and their reception's in the same room. So we have really nice, we've all got them now. They're E-verse speakers made by Electro Voice. I love them. We use it for our ceremony and cocktail. It's run on battery, and the wireless microphone actually plugs into the speaker. So we need no electric at all. And it was funny, I was just at Keeneland this weekend, and the planner there had asked my clients, what electrical needs is Matt going to have? And I said, none. And she's like, well, he's going to have some electric. And she was joking with me about it on Saturday when we were there. And she's like, by God, you didn't need anything from me at all. So that was her first time seeing our new system that we use for our ceremony and cocktail hours. So I was able to go from the ceremony and by the track, with the speaker, and I carried it right over, music playing into the cocktail hour, into the yard. So really
incredible.
Cool. Yeah, it's nice. It's new and it sounds professional, and it's, you pay good money for these, but the quality is excellent. So we're able to accommodate different settings. And then, of course, my main setup was already ready up in the reception in the ballroom, for example, at Keeneland. So when the guests are leaving cocktail, there's music playing, and then there's music playing as they're entering into the ballroom for cocktail. My biggest thing is I don't like any silence of music at all during an event. We have music going at all times. I mean, there's never, I mean, during the ceremony is the only time that there's any silence really. I mean, even then during toasts, of course, but we try to keep the music going and everybody having a good time.
So going into a reception, do you have like a playlist that is start to finish, or like how do you do playlists? How does that work?
Playlists are one of the trickiest things. I think in the DJ game, you can have lights, you can have sounds and bells and whistles. And that's all great. But to me, the most important thing about being a DJ, especially a wedding DJ, is how to read a crowd, how to control a room, how to properly pick music that's going to go with the flow of your evening. So what we do is we get with the client based on the questionnaire. You know, some clients, for example, I'll go back to Saturday at Keeneland. They sent me a 4-hour-long Spotify list for their reception, you know. Not that they wanted every song played in any specific order. What I do is I go through that and I will start making, because we use a different DJ program, you know, I don't use Spotify for playing music, but I use it as a base. And I'll go through and I'll build this playlist. You know, I usually start with your wedding classics in the beginning, you know, because you want to be able to have your older guests and be able to enjoy some of the songs they know. You know, of course, if the client doesn't want, I want to dance with somebody or shout played, that's fine. We won't play it because we also have a do not play list. But I like to play some of the songs that the older crowd's going to be able to get involved with for the pictures, because they may not be there but an hour sometimes. So, and then we work our way into the newer stuff. But we do build our playlists around what our clients want, and also based upon, you know, we might, if the reception's 3 hours, we might build a 4 to 5 hour playlist. That might change, and the order's not necessarily going to be the same. But it's kind of set up in an order to where, you know, okay, they wanted a couple country songs. Well, we might do a 2 or 3 song country set, you know, 30 minutes in, and go back to a pops set. You know, we do kind of customize our playlist to kind of run down. So a DJ could essentially walk in and roll with one of my playlists, but that's just from years of experience of kind of doing 100 weddings a year, you know, to where, you know, this is going to work most of the time, if that makes sense.
You mentioned a do not playlist. Is that something the couple puts together for you, or is that something you have that you're like, I don't play these songs regardless?
We don't have a do not playlist ourselves at Riptide Productions. We'll play anything the customer like. I've had to make sure that they're okay with us playing some of these requests before, but, you know, because some of the explicit things, you know, we do go over that with them too, you know. But back to the do not play. So the client, we have funny clients. I laugh about it all the time. I love them all. When one weekend I had a bride on Friday and Saturday. I had one bride that said no Taylor Swift. I had a bride on Saturday that said all Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? It's just different worlds. So what it is on our questionnaire, there's like people maybe don't want certain songs played that they just passionately hate, bad memories, death in the family, something along those natures usually make them choose a song that they don't want played. So we make sure that we don't play those songs. You know, my team always has that little list with them right there in front too. That way, if somebody would request, because you'd be surprised, and anyone listening to this, that the upcoming wedding, and you've seen our questionnaires, you know what I'm talking about, or my past clients. It's the same with line dances. You know, Friday's wedding, all line, they wanted them all. Saturday, they wanted none. You know, so we just have to really make sure that we're on our P's and Q's and making sure that we are paying attention to every single event that we do, because every client is different.
So you made a comment about guest request. Is that something that the couple gets to determine whether that happens, or do people even request songs anymore?
Yeah, that's part of our questionnaire as well, and we do ask that because we need to address that. For example, I'm looking at this. This is no country, no rap on this, you know, for the do not play part. But anyways, back down here is, what would you like the DJ to do if someone requests to play a song? It's question 38 on our questionnaire. Absolutely no song requests is one option. Then DJ to use own discretion. And then they check DJ to use own own discretion, but no country rap and no old songs before the 90s. So we got some.
They're very detailed.
Very detailed. I mean, that's but we want that because it's
How old
ultimately
is that couple?
Oh,
or that bride?
Oh, good question. This one, they are a younger couple. They're
okay.
This is probably like 22.
I'm like, nothing before the 90s. I'm like, that's the best music.
Well, and I'm talking to them tonight, actually, and I might have to say, hey, and this is where, doing weddings, I have no problem having this conversation. For example, this is a great point to make. I will sometimes say, hey, I just want to make sure I saw your no 90s, and that's fine, but I just wanted to make sure that, like songs like September, and I want to dance with somebody that are very popular for like the beginning of a reception, or you don't want those. And I would just confirm that because there's so many popular songs that are before the 90s, for example, that will get a crowd going in early stages of a reception. So, but we do take into consideration everything that they want, and if they want us to, and sometimes they say absolutely no song request because they've given me everything, and I have no problem dealing with that when one of their guests comes up and asks for a song, and I say, well, it's we've got a pretty strict playlist tonight, but I'll see what I can do for you, because sometimes that request may be already in the approved playlist. 90% of the time it is. So, okay. and I'll get to play it for them, but if they don't want any song requests, I just always kind of filter those off, and I handle that. So our goal is for no one to bother the couple, during the reception. I don't want anyone having to go. I want them to have a good time. That's it.
And I know whenever I first started doing wedding planning 15 years ago, we did a lot more of like the shoe game, where you ask questions and the bride and groom, they raise their shoe up to who was the answer for the question. And then there was like the dollar dance. I think those have definitely gone away more. I have started to see, I still think we're having first dances, but I'm starting to see parent dances be less. Are you starting to see that be less as well?
I definitely agree. The shoe game, things of that nature, the traditional type old school games have gone to the wayside. Now, does that mean that I still think that it's great.
I love them. I think they're fun.
The shoe game is fun. It's 5 to 10 minutes. And what I will do is I will try to get someone involved from the wedding party that, typically a couple will have someone in their wedding party that's wild, likes to have fun, likes to be heard. So I will get them involved with asking some questions so that we can kind of come up, and I'll get their contact information and come up with some fun questions too. So yes, the shoe game is not around necessarily as much anymore in the money dance, but we will do them, and we have a snazzy way of making the money dance cool.
Okay.
I mean, we play different songs, and we have really cool ways to bring those things into a reception. But as far as parent dances, another new thing that we're seeing a lot more of is the option. We have an option on here. Do you want to play the full song or fade out? We're seeing a lot more of the fade out chosen. 1.5 to 2 minutes. I think it's great. And even joint parent dances are a big thing now too. So that's and people are always like, well, what do people usually do? Well, listen, every wedding is different. You do whatever you want and we'll make it happen. That's our big belief. We don't base anything off what the norm is. We want you to feel comfortable and do what you want, and we'll give guidance. And I've even sent old questionnaires to clients before who are really struggling, sometimes. So, but yeah, I think some of that's going to the wayside. A lot of people just want to get to the fun part of the evening. More so is what we're seeing. So we try to really cater that and get there to that fun and let them enjoy themselves, because the wedding day for couples goes by so fast. It is like a blink of an eye. And the last thing you want to do is have them stuck doing things they don't necessarily want to do. So, and we try to make sure that we accommodate that every way we can.
And then do you see many of your couples taking dance lessons, or do you kind of see them winging it?
Oh, I'm 100% believer in dance lessons. I know First Dance Lexington, they do a great job. I love seeing bride, groom, for example, or a couple doing, a choreographed first dance. I think it's so cool. I think it's so nice and classy, fun. I highly recommend it. One of my favorites is the father-daughter choreographed dance. We just did one last Tuesday at Sunset Ridge. It was a riot. They went back to Diary of a Wimpy Kid with the Intergalactic from Beastie Boys and did that whole thing. So, I mean, it's fun. I highly recommend spending some time on your dance. A lot of people are getting to that more because the last thing you want to do is just get out there and be uncomfortable. So at least if you're not going to hire a professional, do some practicing at home or watch some videos or come up with something. And I think a lot more couples are taking that approach.
You mentioned you just did a wedding last Tuesday. Do you know why that couple chose Tuesday for their wedding date?
I do not know, but
Okay.
I was happy that they chose Tuesday. We love Tuesday weddings.
And that's one of the things
Yeah.
that I tell my clients now, or my couples now, is like when we're looking at dates and stuff, they're like, well, we really want this date, but it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm like, that's okay. If that's the date you want, let's do it then.
Yeah, and it's not. I mean, you're talking to wedding vendors. I mean, most of us are full time, or at least have someone in their team that can accommodate a weekday wedding, no problem. We loved the Tuesday wedding. It was fun. I didn't really necessarily ask why. I know that it was funny. Of all things, it was election day in Kentucky too, which I thought was funny. But and it was a destination wedding, so a lot of the guests were staying there. They were, a lot of them from Ashland, Kentucky, and it was in like I said, in Sunset Ridge and Mount Sterling area. So they traveled a little bit, but I thought it was great. It's always fun to shake it up. Holidays a lot. You see Sunday weddings, Monday weddings, when there's a long weekend. So we love them all. Any day of the week, we're ready to party and have a good time with you.
I have a couple that's getting married in September on a Monday. It was his parents' anniversary.
That's
So,
cool.
yeah.
See, now that makes it special.
Exactly.
I think it's great. We don't care what day of the week.
Same, yeah.
So we're just happy to be there and be a part of it.
And then one of the things I've been seeing too, and Danny and I talked about this because she did it at her wedding, is a last dance. Either as all of your guests are getting ready to leave and still around the dance floor, or as your guests are going down to get ready for a sparkler exit, it's just kind of your last time on the dance floor. Are you seeing more of that?
That is a very, very popular trend right now, and it really started last year. From what I can remember, it started last year. That trend to where it's just the couple dancing in the venue by themselves, no one around except photographer and the DJ, and all the guests are wherever outside waiting for the exit. I love it. Think it's great. What we have that question on our questionnaire as well. So we ask if there's going to be a last dance, and then we ask for a song. And then sometimes the last dance might be the one where everyone joins in. But then we play a song to send the guests outside with, maybe to get ready for the sparklers or the light send off that they're going to do or whatever. And while the guests are outside getting ready, that's when our couple will do a private last dance to a special song that they chose. I think it creates for a very cool effect. The ambiance is neat in the room. There's nobody around, just them two, and it's their special moment. And then, we open up the doors and play the whatever song they're going out to, like a Katy Perry Fireworks or Sparks Fly. Taylor Swift was last Tuesday, for example. So, I think it's great. I think it's a new tradition. I think it's coming around. I think we're seeing a lot of it now. I love it.
Matt, thank you so much for sharing your words of wisdom today and sharing a little bit about how the process works for music for the wedding in general. Is there any tips that you want to give couples for picking their music or things they should keep in mind when it comes to their wedding reception?
Well, I think that number one, making sure you got somebody qualified to, a professional that's going to make sure that they're able to handle everything properly. There's so much involved when it comes to a proper ceremony and reception, like microphone quality, sound quality. Does the DJ have backups of everything? These are things you want to know and are vital to the success of your big day. If you're going to do this big day and you're going to have this special day and you're going to bring all these people in for this one big epic occasion, you've got to make sure it's right. And that's why we go through all the standards that we do, in particular with our questionnaire and, going through the music selections. And we ask our clients to, like I told you earlier, send as little or as much as you want, and we'll roll with that. We like to have conversations about 2 to 3 weeks out from the wedding, sometimes a week. We're not in any major rush. If you hire a coordinator, which we highly recommend, by the way, we'll look at their timeline, and then we kind of the last people to talk to. We just kind of go over the music and make sure, okay, we got this, we've got that. But we will help as much as possible. We will send Spotify playlists for days and share, to give our clients ideas and suggestions to make their day special.
Perfect. And Matt, will you share your website and your social media?
Yeah, it's www.riptidedjs.com, or catch us at Riptide Productions KY.com, and Riptide Productions on all social, I believe, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I don't know what all they are out there, but we've got them all, I think.
Okay. Well, Matt, thank you so much for being with me here today and sharing a little bit about all the things for the wedding reception. I am 100% pro having a professional DJ. It's one of my two areas absolutely to not skimp on. So like I said, I've worked with you for about 3 years now, and your team, and absolutely highly recommend you, and just want to thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Sarah, and we wish you all the best continued success in your podcasting career as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
For more information about Simply Love Studio or to schedule your wedding consultation, go to simplylovestudio.com.